And welcome to the hard sell, where the stick in the swill-bucket rattles back. Christmas has arrived yet again. The great feast to see out another year. And as usual, it's not cheap. Where to spend our money dosh this festive season? Where, oh where? Well, if we were to choose based on the quality of the advertising, we probably wouldn't bother at all. Not that they're crap, just largely indistinguishable, certainly in terms of anything you could describe as quality. There's a basic template, or maybe several templates. Now hang on, there's a single set of biscuit cutters in a handful of shapes, all pressed out of the same massive slab of dough. How's that for a metaphor? Alright, I'll get on with it. Starting as usual with the OGs, John Lewis, the ones who forged those biscuit cutters in the first place. Or, to use a completely different metaphor, the ones who set us on the road Christmas advertising has taken since 2011 and Amelia Warner's cover of Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want. Their Christmas advert for this year is the most divisive for years. Which is great as far as John Lewis are concerned, because it means it's also their most talked about for years. Since, at least the one with the well-meaning dragon that kept fucking up. Which is interesting, for reasons I will go into. Here it is, if you haven't seen it.
Gran, can I have this?
La vita è una festa. 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 Sì. La vita è una festa, la vita è una festa, la vita è una festa.
Yeah, so a bit odd, perhaps? A bit unusual? Maybe even slightly off-putting. Well, after over a decade of this, off-putting is almost the only option they have left if they want to make the kind of impact they have in the past. And it worked. It made column inches on its launch in a way last year's didn't. Do you even remember what last year's one was?
All the small things, true care, truth brings.
About a dad trying to learn to skateboard, to the postmodern jukebox version of All the Small Things, which was actually sung by Puddles the Clown. Would make a good John Lewis advert in himself. Anyway, despite Puddles' best efforts, you didn't remember that one until I brought it up, did you? I know I didn't. And what was before that? What was the 2021 John Lewis advert? Oh yeah, it was that alien thing, wasn't it? With some song or other. But chances are you still remember John Scott Martin on the Moon. And perhaps even Monty the Penguin. And you're likely to still remember Snapper a few years from now, in the unlikely event that we're still in a position to care about John Lewis adverts by then. And that's all they need out of him, really. The story itself is basically the same as Excitable Edgar the Dragons, only lazier. They arguably neglect to have Snapper make anything like as much of a menace of himself as Edgar did. He rips a few paper chains, breaks some furniture, chases a Pomeranian, nothing on the level of belching fire everywhere and causing actual harm to people. But again, it doesn't matter, because the formula is still fulfilled, and there's still the obligatory scene where you feel genuinely sad for a CGI Audrey 2 monster. Yes, you do, don't lie. The main thing that sets it apart from earlier versions is the music. Pop opera, courtesy of Andrea Bocelli, instead of sad piano versions of hits of the past. And we've moved far enough into the future by now for that to include Blink 182, so we don't miss it. Hopefully that's lesson learned for John Lewis. No one notices dull slice-of-life whimsy, but 3-act plays centering around offbeat but cute CGI creations will get newspapers to reproduce the entire advert in full on YouTube for you. I don't know how much more offbeat they can go after Snapper, but I'm sure we'll find out. John Lewis's sister supermarket, Waitrose, had their own advert this year. A few years ago you might remember there was a big rebrand tying them both together, but that didn't really work out. Waitrose really needs its own campaign, in the same way that M&S have separate ads for their department stores and their food department. We'll get to M&S, don't worry. So what do Waitrose have for us? Well, early Depeche Mode and celebrity cameos.
They're early.
Hey! We're not early, are we? No!
Come in. The band's back together.
We're stuck with chocolate.
I'm trying to get to the better popcorn. As you were.
This isn't my favourite ad of the year. It's all a bit forced bonhomie. The products aren't exactly organically integrated into the narrative.
Hey, is that Golden Bouche de Noël? Yes, it is. And this one has caramel shards.
Double top mince pie.
Excuse me, we've had multiple reports of a Florentine-inspired panettone.
At times there's a vague air of desperation about it even, of partying against the darkness. That's probably projection though.
It's okay, everyone. There's more cheese.
Thing is, it's pissed off a lot of swivel-eyed Daily Mail reading imbeciles, apparently on the sole basis that there are black people in it. Apparently that's bad in itself. Black people existing. We really did let things get out of hand with those guys, didn't we? Oh, also apparently it never mentions Christmas out loud. For the same reason you're not constantly mentioning oxygen. The fuck do you think the fucking tree is for? Kwanzaa? It's Christmas, for Christ's sake. Now of all times, have a day off.
When the food's good, everything's good.
I get the feeling I'm meant to recognise more people here than I do. But I turned 40 this year, so I'm basically out of that game.
Waitrose.
As for the other supermarkets, well, let's get this guy out of the way early.
A magical Christmas Eve. The most wonderful time of year. 5 lucky winners waited, then William Conker appeared.
Kevin the Carrot has been going for 8 consecutive Christmases now. And he's probably single-handedly, because he's a carrot with hands, responsible for Aldi, the discounters, almost making it to the level of a legit supermarket by now. The basic technique for Kevin is to find something else that's happening and tie in with that. So when Robbie Williams had a Christmas album out, they set the advert on his album cover and got Robbie himself to do Kevin's singing voice. Or last year they did a football thing because of the World Cup. This year they're making that Willy Wonka origin story with Paul Atreides in it, which Roald Dahl would have absolutely hated, but then he hated everything. So that's Kevin's angle this year.
Inside, the Plumpty Dumpties prepared a big celebration.
Welcome to my world of festive innovation.
Narrated by Jim Broadbent as usual, presumably in character as Father Christmas, although you don't see him this time. Because it's Christmas, I'm going to be generous and assume that William Conker really is 2 puns at once.
Look, trumpeting sprouts.
The guests were told politely they really mustn't touch, but the greedy, gluttonous grape didn't listen very much.
My beautiful gravy.
The sulky, sour rhubarb always put herself first. It was just a matter of time before her bubble burst.
So yeah, they basically do go through the whole thing, with imagery that sort of splits the difference between the Gene Wilder, Tim Burton and original Roald Dahl versions. Oh, and there's a bum joke.
I want a mince pie now!
Came a frosty shout. Then she learnt her lesson, that spoiled little sprout.
I can see his plum crack.
Thanks for that, really helps make the season.
Christmas isn't selfish, it's not all me, me, me. Yet nobody had mentioned this to the mischievous Kiwi. Only Kevin the Carrot clearly understood the true meaning of Christmas and the importance of being good.
Congratulations, Kevin. You've passed the test. I'd like to present you with the cheese to the factory.
Wow, that's huge, Willy.
Oh, come on, at least try to be clever about it.
Can I share my good fortune with everyone?
That's the spirit, Kevin.
Seasonal goodwill was truly in the air, for Christmas is a time that's sweeter when you share.
Morrisons, who still exist, looked like they were building their own annual Christmas character in Farmer Christmas, who showed up the last 2 years in a row. Well, apparently no one gave a shit because he's gone and dead and burning in hell with all his friends, probably. And Morrisons have instead gone with something completely different and faintly psychotic.
Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I found is too good to be true.
Let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby. Don't ever look back. Let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we're hard to hard.
This is the entire thing, mind. No explicit product shots or even name checks. Just generic Christmas cooking imagery accompanied by singing oven gloves, performing Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, which clumsily segues into the resurrected jingle at the end. And that's the only mention of the shop itself, or any shop, or even the concept of shops. Apart from the odd glimpse at a label, it's almost a random animated short that inexplicably has a logo at the end. It could be for anything, or nothing. Fewer reasons to shop at Morrisons, I guess. To be fair, this is just the premise establishing central ad. There are loads of shorter, more specific ones that actually go into detail, and even have the oven gloves speak, proving that they sound just as annoying as they look.
Napkins at the ready, it's party time! Get any 3 packs for the price of 2 on fresh and frozen party food at Morrisons. Fwah! More keeping a few back in the kitchen for the host. Morrisons are shopping Morrisons.
If nothing else, it's a reminder to the world that Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now is actually quite good, sorry. Here's Sainsbury's, fortunately containing 0 heartwarming images of World War I trench warfare. I will die mad at them for that.
Customer service to till 3, please.
Uh-oh, she's dangerously adorable. They probably pulled out her 2 front teeth specifically for the role.
Hey,
have a question. It's about Santa.
Uh-oh.
What does he have for his Christmas dinner?
Venison. Stop playing with the microphone, kid. So anyway, that's our cue for everyone to speculate on Santa's repast using Sainsbury's products. Which is actually a clever way to do a Christmas advert, so kudos for that.
I think he'd kick off with a charcuterie tree.
Charcuterie tree. Yeah.
Then it's got to be succulent, slow-cooked British turkey crowds.
Could have been done better. I actually would have preferred it if it literally stayed in the supermarket as a conversation among the shoppers, instead of doing all this cutaway business, which feels a bit like effort for its own sake. Better jokes would have helped as well.
And he'd love a taste of difference, no beef Wellington.
I've got no beef with that.
Accompanied by the Ski Sunday music for absolutely no reason at all. Except that it makes you think of snow and ice and Arctic conditions, I suppose. There's even a completely inexplicable Rickroll in the middle.
How about some cheese?
Come on, Rick. Cheese before pudding. You know the rules.
And so do I.
And then he slammed his face into the chiller cabinet 87 times.
Sainsbury's. Good food for all of us.
Lidl, a few years ago, took the piss out of the whole John Lewis aesthetic.
Usually a moment where we want you to feel sad. But we don't have time for sparkling wine. This cheese will make you feel so glad.
They did it again last year, albeit in a wishy-washy bet-hedging way.
Big hug, tasty food, narrative complete.
This year they've given up and just gone full Lewis without a trace of irony. Their choice for adorable mascot? A CGI raccoon.
There's a light shining bright on a deep winter night. So if accidents happen, then all that matters is knowing that somebody's close. So if you're looking out, then there's never a doubt, though you might be afraid now and then, because you know you can. Don't you be down if you're lost and you're found, and there's always someone there to save the day. Life is a mountain you can climb it.
And so on, until the charity endorsement at the end.
'Cause friends like these will always guide the way back home.
A magical Christmas with Lidl. Gift a toy to Lidl's toy bank and share the magic.
Should have come up with a fart joke cracking vegetable like the other guys. Iceland's one. Doesn't exist this year because of something noble about the cost of living crisis. More likely they couldn't afford it. So let's move on to Asda instead. They've hired neo-crooner Michael Bublé, who clearly has no idea what's going on.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Which makes two of us.
Isaiah.
Let's go. Products to approve.
Yes, I knew that. Hey, everybody! I hear someone tried to push mackerel for Christmas dinner again this year. Barry. But then I also heard that brown butter and spiced dark rum are this year's food flavor trend.
There's still loads to do, so bring Mr. Bublé your best.
Yes, and this place looks amazing. And that smells so good. Hey, big cheese!
Pick a fifth for the cheese board.
They're all so different. This one.
Good man.
I'm so talented.
This way.
Yeah.
It might seem like he's been shoved in front of the camera and told to get on with it, but he does seem to be having fun sending himself up.
More bump in the rise.
You heard him? More bump.
So last year. Oh. Now we're talking.
Studded with chocolate and candied orange.
Won't jingle my bells, that's great.
Okay, don't say that ever again.
Wow, those sequins really pop.
Quality control going well?
He just wants the very best.
Here you go, pal.
You alright?
I think I've just seen Michael Bublé.
And now I'm in the sunken place. help.
Okay.
Off for the night, are ya?
No, I'm just getting started. Walking in a winter wonderland.
Make this Christmas incredible. Right. So I'm guessing that someone at Asda's advertising company discovered Michael Bublé was available, and his fee and his trailer and his rider and his beard oil were all prioritised above the script, and indeed the premise of the advert itself. Hardly the first time in the history of advertising that something like that has happened. The UK's biggest supermarket, Tesco, have gone for eerie body horror this year, as if trying to put people off. Ah! No, that's not good. Worse than that, kid. Let's roll your eyes and we'll run out of the building screaming that there is no God.
Hey, I'm back. I only went in for milk. Look what I've got. Mince pies. I know it's a bit early, but they're
Oh God, that's even worse.
so good.
Brother Bellas in the back.
Why are you just looking mildly world-weary? Your mother just turned into a snow geisha.
Sweet singers in the front. Cruising down the freeway.
Smash no snowman cheesecake.
The presence of OMC's How Bizarre, which is another frickin' understatement, on the soundtrack does help, since it's one of the lightest and most likeable songs of the past 30 years. But even that song can't entirely offset some genuinely disturbing, and sometimes even vaguely demented imagery.
Flash us from behind.
No, I don't want to see that. That's a tunnel straight through the middle of a woman. What kind of Christmas is this?
Please step out onto the line. How bizarre.
And how the fuck is that guy breathing?
How bizarre. How bizarre.
And why does the kid still just look a bit bored rather than curled in a ball whimpering? Oh no! This is like Cronenberg. Oh, don't do a dance. And of course, all this is leading to the inevitable horror movie ending.
Merry Christmas.
The fairy lights over Innsmouth. Madness. Let's move on. M&S's food-based Christmas advert this year comes in multiple episodes, but I'm only going to show you part one because Jesus Christ. Unlike Morrison's, they've kept the faith this year with their own Christmas mascot, Tree Fairy Dawn French, and her tendency to bring things to life. Like kiddie mascot Percy Pig in her first appearance, where he was voiced by Tom Holland, and duck-shaped chew toy played by Jennifer Saunders last year. This year, not unlike Morrison's, it's some gloves. Mittens, actually. Voiced by Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Oh no, so sad. Someone needs a hand.
I'm alive.
Speak to me, Left.
Oh, I got snow right up my ass.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, hello. I'm Right, and my damp friend here is Left. Yeah, he does that when he gets excited.
Lovely.
Can we get past the piss and bum jokes, please? This is M&S, not Aldi.
What on earth were you doing outside?
Oh, goody. It's backstory time. Picture a little girl, let's call her Lily, on a family trip across the pond.
Picture a cold night and Ruth's backpack.
Okay.
Picture Lily's tears, knowing she may never again feel the warmth of our polyester knit.
I feel so empty.
What a sad story.
Why, thank you.
Come on, let's sprinkle you with some M&S Christmas magic. Oh, yes.
So yeah, John Lewis' sad backstory that happens entirely off screen and is ignored for the rest of the advert.
It gets better. Oh, no, that's worse.
Fine by me. Possibly Lily shows up in a later episode, but like I said, I'm not going any further than this. If I wanted a story arc, I'd watch Game of Thrones. Well, the first 4 series of it, anyway.
And here's a feast fit for a mitten.
Best Christmas ever!
This is not just food. This is M&S Christmas food.
As for M&S's non-food advert, well, that's coming through even more backlash than Waitrose. See if you can figure out why. So that's Unstoppable Showbiz Amazon, Hannah Waddingham. She's pretty uncontroversial. Carry on.
Oh, I would do anything for love.
Well, it's not a very Christmassy tune, but that's not the problem.
You know it's true and that's a fact.
Ah, now, that's apparently some bloke from the latest incarnation of Queer Eye, and gay homosexualist fag. You begin to see the issue.
Oh, I would do anything for love.
And there's Zari Ashton, who's not white, at a party also attended by coloured folk. Oddly enough, not Tom Hiddleston. And that's Sophie Ellis-Bextor, who is a cat. But no one's racist against cats, except maybe dogs.
But I won't do that. No, I won't do that.
Oh, and look at that, it grew a premise halfway through. All about not bothering with seemingly obligatory traditions you can't be arsed with. So yeah, you can see how this would infuriate the kind of idiots who were planning to vote for a Reform Party. Gays and blacks and other minorities actually having fun and being happy and on their own terms to boot.
This Christmas, do only what you love.
Anyone enraged by this deserves to be angry and miserable all through Christmas and for the rest of their lives. I just wish they wouldn't inflict it on others.
But I just won't do that.
Boots are still relevant, I swear, and they've made joy their watchword for the past few years, as personified by Jenna Coleman and later Lydia West. This time they've gone for some unknown actors as a performatively ordinary mother and her daughter. The premise is similar to Sainsbury's. Adorable little girl asks adorably stupid question about Santa.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
Mum, who gives presents to Santa?
Only this time, she's taken seriously.
I'm gonna get there somehow. I'm leaving right away.
And off they go on their quest to a Val Doonican soundtrack.
I could be there in a minute if I had an aeroplane. There'd be just nothing in it if I hadn't missed the train. No juice in my jalopy, it's no good using that. I could pedal on my push bike, but the tires are too darn flat. But I'm gonna get there somehow. I'm ringing up to say that
Somehow I'm leaving right away.
Obviously the real friends were the gifts they gave along the way, or something.
Yes, I'm gonna get there somehow. If I crawl around on my knees, if I don't get there tomorrow, come looking for me, please.
You know what? It's quite sweet. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing serious about it. It doesn't even reach for the heartstrings. It's content just to be whimsical. Good for them. That John Lewis disease is spreading, however. It reached America a while back. Remember Kroger? It seemed to be their rough equivalent of Asda. If Walmart is Tesco and Target is Sainsbury's. I know Walmart still has a stake in Asda. It's a bad metaphor, right? Anyway, Kroger, represented by these CGI animated Playmobil figurines. Last year they basically used them in a rip-off of Pixar's Up, which to be fair was genuinely effective and affecting. This year they're doing a story about a deranged couple who go around collecting foreign children. Although to be fair they do give them back when they finish playing them.
But it's the only thing that I know. When it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes. It is the only thing that makes us feel alive. We keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for
So as you can see, it basically writes itself premise.
Hearts are never broken, and time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet.
It's not the most Christmassy thing in the world. That one shot of a Christmas tree makes me suspect that it was spliced in at short notice when they realised this advert would be ready sooner than they thought. Or they just got cold feet about showing it during the Super Bowl.
You won't ever be alone.
The maudlin aesthetic hasn't completely taken hold in America the way it did here, though. Take a look at this Capital One thing.
That's 2 for $5. What happened to 3?
Where have you been?
North Pole.
Disco ball for the sleigh. Nice.
Hey there. Watch this. Boom! Ho, ho, ho. How's the hair?
Frosty as ever.
This is the best thing John Travolta has done in many, many years, and it's quite good too. Travolta actually looks relatively happy for a start. I like the idea of a world where Santa not only is proven to exist, but just sort of hangs out around New York. And I like it as an advert. I like its technique. The way the product itself is integrated into the narrative without yelling about it. I particularly like this shot, which is almost a case of subliminal selling. Sure, it's not a flash frame or anything, that's how you get away with it, but at the same time, you won't have been looking for it, so you probably won't be looking at it either during the 3 seconds it is on screen. You'll be looking at Travolta or the sparkly tree, both of which are positioned to put the poster in the corner of your eye. And that's all the first time you watch this advert, not knowing what's coming, of course. The second time, maybe you do know what's coming and you look out for it. So you actually end up reading the poster and absorbing the information properly. Always remember, advertisers aren't your friends. Their job is to gaslight you.
What's in your wallet?
Wow, they still use that slogan? Well, that was a big one, wasn't it? That's Christmas for you. Enjoy the festivities, everybody. Remember, every Christmas is last Christmas. I shall return in Moonraker. Eat a mince pie. Oh, and here's a bonus advert I should have used for that rugby episode a couple of months back. It's for John Smith's Bitter, from a campaign that used Jonah Louis' Stop the Cavalry as a theme. You know, the song about the misery of World War I trench warfare that was adopted as a Christmas song because it mentions it a couple of times. Sainsbury's should have used it. I don't know how they overlooked that. Now, Daddick Lowen.
Present myself and my mates. This is Jim and this is Joe, and we're off to say hello to Neanderthals down from Cardiff. They can't have had their tea, someone's eating my knee and using my head to practice with. If I manage to survive till 5:30, can't wait to see my mate called Smith. John Smith's great new lager with that bit of Yorkshire bite. Beautiful. Well, I passed the ball to Jim, that's the last we'll see of him. Now my way is blocked by a wall called Bruce. It's hard to sell a dummy with a bloke around your tummy. Blow the whistle, ref. It's time for a truce, for a brew just right with a bit of Yorkshire bite. Get yourself a mate called Smith.
You just sat through a Bob the Fish production. Nice! If you haven't already, you absolutely must check out bobthefish.org.uk. Literally hundreds more videos not unlike that one, adding up to days worth of entertainment and all absolutely free. But if you're not a cold-hearted skinflint, you can always support us on Patreon. For as little as anything at all, you can make programs like the one you just watched possible in the first place, and become eligible for bonus material such as glimpses of the book I'm writing about the BBC, monthly riffings on random commercial breaks, the complete archives of the angry political satire magazine Two Sons, and even the odd very occasional bonus video essay unavailable anywhere else. If nothing else, you should prevent me from starving and or freezing to death in the foreseeable future, so that'd be nice. No pressure or anything. You make it what it is.